afternoon. Hello guys, hello. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, my name is Jessica Fields. I'm the founder behind the J Fields co-brand, and I am also the founder and owner behind the Jessica Fields brand. I am a licensed esthetician in the state of Texas, and I have been crafting luxury skincare products made with medical grade ingredients to positively improve the skin for over 17 years. And today I'm coming on because I want to talk to you all about waxing, specifically client education when it comes down to waxing. We licensed estheticians are the professionals. People come to us for our expertise, so it is our job to educate our clients when they are coming in to see us for waxing, whether it be body waxing, anywhere on the body, eyebrows, face waxing, arms, underarms, bikini, legs, even toes. If you grow hair anywhere in your body, we should be able to wax and educate our clients on that. And today I want to specifically give you 3 tips on how you can educate your clients. Now, you guys forgive me, I'm going to kind of look back and forth to my notes, just making sure I'm hitting all my points. If you guys have questions during the live, just put them down in the comment box. I'm going to scroll back up and look at the questions. So the first thing I always get people ask me about is how often people should come in for waxing. It really depends on what they are waxing. My expertise or my specialty is going to be Brazilian waxing. That's one of my favorite types of waxing. And a Brazilian waxing is usually for in the under area, the undercarriage. My specialty is in female Brazilian waxing. So we're going to wax you from the top of the vagina all the way down to the anus. We remove all of the hair. That's my specialty. If you are coming in for Brazilian waxing, I recommend my clients come in every 4 weeks, so once a month. Now, after a client has been waxing for a significant amount of time and they're following their at-home instructions in between visits, over time, the hair should grow in slower, it should grow in thinner, so that means they may not need to be waxed every 4 weeks. For example, I have clients who have been getting Brazilian waxes for 20 plus years. So that client only comes to me once every 6 weeks because the hair just does not grow in very quickly. Now, every person is different. So some people for the rest of their lives might need to come in every 4 weeks because of either upkeep, maintenance, they're traveling a lot, that's just their preference, whatever the case may be. But on average, Brazilian waxing, your client should be coming in every 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 8, depending on them and their preference. Underarms, every 2 to 3 weeks. Chest and back is going to be a personal preference. Usually I say about every 4 weeks too, but some people just grow a lot of hair or just want to keep it down. They want to come in a little bit more often. Face waxing, such as eyebrows, sideburns, the top of the lip, bottom of the lip, and even the chin area, they can come in every 2 weeks. I even have a couple of clients that come in weekly. Again, every person is different, so how their hair grows, how often, how thick, how coarse, how curly is going to be different. So you need to put your clients on a wax schedule that works for them. For example, if you get a client who comes in for the very first time, they have a ton of hair, you wax them, you get it all off, but depending on what part of the body is, you would make a recommendation. I suggest you come in for this next period of time. Come in 2 weeks, come in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or so forth. Then give your client some information. But halfway through this point, if you feel like, oh, this hair is too much, tell your client to call you so that you can adjust your schedule or check it and make sure you are available and bring that client in sooner than you originally anticipated. 1, this shows that you care for the client. This shows that you want to be there for the client. You care about their comfort level. 2, this makes a better experience for your customer because they're going to know that you care. They're like, they're going to make changes in their schedule. They're going to check and make sure they're available. If they can, they'll adjust the schedule. Clients are more likely to keep coming back to you for your experience. If they come in, they have a pleasant experience, you talk to them, you're kind to them, you show that you care, you're educating them, and you're educating them with correct information, and they're able to see progress in their skin, whether it be like skincare or specifically, as we're talking about today, waxing. If you're giving them information and it turns out to be true, the customer is going to trust you. They're going to want to continue to rebook with you and come back to you. And this is no matter how much you charge. For example, my Brazilian waxes regular price are $79. I have hands down had people tell me, oh, well, I only pay $50 for a wax. And sometimes I run sales, and I think the reason they came into me is because I was running a sale that took my price down lower than what they were willing to pay. So when they came in, they were like, oh, your service was so great. This wasn't as painful as I thought. I had a really great experience. I love talking to you. So I was like, great. I'm so glad you had a great experience. I recommend my clients come back in once a month. That will put us at this date. I'd love to get you back on the books. Will that day work for you? And what time is best? I always close the sale. I always ask every client that hits my table, I don't care what service you're getting, I say, hey, let's get you rebooked. Now, the lady was like, okay, so how much is a regular price? And I said, well, regular price is $79. She paused for a good moment. She took a beat, I say maybe a minute. And I didn't pressure her like, okay, come on, what you want to do? I was like, yeah, so that's my regular price. Would you like to get back on the books for that? She was like, oh, well, that's more than I normally pay, but, you know, and she kept looking down. Oh, but it looks so great. It wasn't nearly as painful as I've had in the past, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rebook. She rebooked. She came in. She paid my regular price. And then she would say the same thing over. Oh, my gosh, it looks so great. You know, it really wasn't as painful, and you got done so fast. And I said, well, yeah, we're getting on a regular wax schedule, and you followed my instructions that I gave you in between visits, because I always tell my clients they need to exfoliate in between visits. This, and I'll break that down in a moment, because that's actually one of my next tips on why what the client should be doing and should not be doing, in between visits. But she followed my instructions while she was away from me, and then when she came back, we were able to get her service done much quicker than she anticipated. Now, I knew about how long it would take me, but I was done faster than she expected. Her service comfort level was great, and she enjoyed the experience. She went, you know what, $79 or not, you're doing a great job, you know what you're doing, I'm going to come back. But here's the kicker. I told her, well, yeah, my regular price is $79, and that's if you just, book the appointment every single time. But if you become one of our VIP members, you actually can join for only $65 a month, and you get boom, 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 boom. And I gave her all these perks for becoming a VIP. She was like, oh, that's great. Well, what's so different about doing your VIP than just doing the one-off? You're putting your card on file. I'm going to charge your card at the same time every month. So for me as a business owner, that's guaranteeing me a certain amount of money every month, because I'm getting rebooked clients automatically. I don't have to wait until they're in the spa to recharge their card. They're going to be charged the same day every single month. Now, if for example, their card is due to be charged on the 27th of every month, but the client ends up calling and saying, I need to come in on the 20th, I'm going out of town. Now, obviously, I'm going to charge their card at that time that they come in for an appointment earlier, and they won't get charged on the 27th because they came in a little bit earlier. And I do encourage you to do this in the event somebody comes in on the 20th, but their card is not going to be due to charge on the 27th. They get the service, and for whatever reason on the 27th, their card doesn't work. And now you just provided this free service. Now, granted, you can go back to the customer and say, hey, I need to, recoup these costs. You got this service and your card didn't go through. But some people could just flake and not want to pay, up and disappear, and you not answer the phone. Now, I hope that never ever happens to anybody, but that is a possibility. So I always encourage you, if a client is going to come in sooner and you have them on a monthly schedule, you charge their card at the time of service. But bottom line was, you need to be educating your clients how often to come in. And when you set a time schedule, let the customer know. If you notice that you're hairier sooner than our next appointment, call me, or we can get you in sooner if we have availability. Or say a client's been coming to you for some time and they're noticing the hair is not growing as quickly as it used to, and they're saying, hey, I don't need to come every 4 weeks. I'd like to come every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks. Letting the customer know that you're open to adjusting their timing, their schedule, so it works for them, is going to make them happier and more likely to rebook with you. Now, how you charge them, that's between you and your financial books, which you should be tracking your costs so that you know how much you should be charging. But that's the first thing I wanted to encourage you all to do. Client education, letting your customers know how often they should be coming in for a service. The second thing you should be doing when it comes down to client education is telling your clients why they should be coming in every so often, whatever that set schedule is. For example, I told you guys, clients for Brazilian waxes, I usually tell them to come in every 4 weeks. And the reason I tell them that, because that is the cycle of hair growth. That allows your hair to come, because when we wax, we're going to pull the hair directly from the root all the way out. In 4 weeks on average is enough time for the hair to grow back out into a certain length. That's enough length for when you come back in for us to apply the wax and to get it off and get the hair all the way out. If they come in, say, too soon, Say your client is scheduled every 4 weeks and then they show up a week later and you wax it. There's a good chance there's not going to be enough hair length for you to be able to pull the hair out. So you want to tell them why they need to come in for a certain amount of time. And then you need to explain to customers what happens when they skip appointments. For example, we're telling somebody to come in every 4 weeks and they call you and they say, you know what, I can't come in on the 4 weeks, I'm gonna come in at 5 weeks, or I'm gonna come in at 6, I'm gonna come in at 7, I'm gonna come in at 8, but their hair is not growing in slower or thinner and it's growing in at the normal time frame and they keep skipping appointments. The hair is going to get much longer, and depending on the texture of the hair or the coarseness of the hair, it can be more painful to do the wax removal. So you want to stress to clients, when you come in on a timetable, it's going to be quicker for us, it's going to be easier for us, and it's going to be less painful on you. Educating your clients what happens when they skip appointments is going to be highly important. Another thing you want to educate your clients on, say you decide, you're coming in every 4 weeks, but for some reason you are going to be going out of town and I can't get you in on the time frame you want, or for whatever reason I just can't accommodate your requested schedule. Try to discourage your clients from using a razor. When they use a razor, they're cutting the hair and it's going to cut it at an angle, a blunt angle. So then when it's time for the hair to grow back out again, it actually can grow underneath the skin. That's called an ingrown hair. So you want to educate your clients and tell them why they should not use razors in between visits when they are on a wax schedule, because it's going to possibly damage the hair and can cause ingrowns. There are many other reasons that you shouldn't, but that's all I'm going to go into for sake of time today. So again, educating your clients why they should come in regularly, discouraging them from skipping appointments, and discouraging use of a razor in between wax sessions. Now, the third thing I want to tell you, that how you should be educating your clients when it comes down to waxing, telling your clients what they should be doing in between visits and what they should not do right after a visit and right before a visit. And there actually are quite a few things, so I'm going to just pick a few because I don't want to be here all day kind of giving you every possible scenario under the sun. So right before an appointment, and I say right before, like a day or two before, they should exfoliate. Exfoliating is going to help get up the dead skin that's on the surface. So when it's time to wax, we're going to actually get all of the hair. If they don't exfoliate, you absolutely can still wax, but the chances of you getting all the hair off decrease a little bit. For example, if you don't exfoliate, the dead skin on the surface is still kind of holding onto the hair. So then when you put the wax down, you're going to pull up the dead skin and you're going to try to pull up the hair. But if you say your wax is a cheap wax or a wax of not good quality, you might be getting all dead skin and no hair or very little hair. So those are things that play a factor. Encourage your clients to exfoliate. This is a prime opportunity to actually offer retail. You can tell your clients, hey, I encourage you to exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week in between your visits. You should be doing that anyway. I have a great exfoliating product for you. It's this scrub, or it's this chemical exfoliant. It's this exfoliating glove. In fact, I do that. These are exfoliating gloves that you can pick up at a local grocery store. In fact, I'm in Houston, Texas, for those of y'all who didn't know. So H-E-B is our big grocery store. I love the store. You can buy these. They're exfoliating towels. They're exfoliating gloves. They're actually great for just exfoliating the entire body, but I do encourage clients, if you don't have super coarse hair where we need to do a chemical exfoliant, you can just use these towels or these gloves. And they say, oh, okay, great, well, how much is it? Because I'm saving them time of having to stop at another store, get out of their car, and do all this, so it's convenience. I want to say they're a few dollars at the store. I mark them up $1 maybe, because I do take the time out to drive to the store, get out, go in, and pay for them, and I house the inventory here. So I do, make a profit on each one that I sell. But it's a perfect opportunity to sell retail, which we should be doing. A minimum of 30% of your sales as a beauty professional should come from retail. That's a great way to increase your revenue. So back to what I was telling you what to do. Telling your clients to exfoliate before and after their appointment. So pretty much in between visits. Now, they're not going to be exfoliating directly afterwards because waxing actually lifts up some dead skin off the surface. So that's already a form of exfoliation. So that's a don't. Tell your clients, do not exfoliate for a minimum of 48 to 72 hours after a wax appointment. Tell your clients to avoid getting into a sauna. Tell your clients to avoid sex. And you might be thinking, oh, that's too personal. That's not my business. It is your business because you have just waxed your client. You have technically opened their pores. Their skin is going to be much more sensitive. If you don't tell your client to refrain from using a sauna or from sex or from exercise directly after a wax appointment, and their skin gets super irritated, what do you think that client is going to do? Y'all can tell me in the comments. What do you think the client is going to do? The client is going to call you and say, you did something to me. My skin is all red. My skin is all bumpy. My skin is whatever. But if you educate your client and tell them before you start waxing, these are your do's and don'ts, or send them home at the end of the appointment, these are your do's and don'ts. Don't do these things because it could lead to irritation. It could lead to, infection. It could lead to whatever. This helps your client so they know what they can and cannot get into. And if they do get into something, you then have, I warned you, which actually leads me to another point. Every time a client comes into you to be waxed, they should be signing a new wax consent form. And you may say, oh, but I had them sign one in the past year. That's great. That's great. You've had them sign one in the past year. Every single time they come, they should sign a new one. Why? Because they're going to date it and they're acknowledging to you, I know your rules, I know your do's, I know your don'ts. I understand this procedure comes with risk. I am willing to take these risks on without holding you liable. This is called covering yourself. Yes, we should, as beauty professionals, have liability insurance that's going to cover us in the event of emergencies. But we want to just be able to say, okay, I have that insurance, but I don't need to use that insurance because I have told my client these are the things you should be doing, these are the things you shouldn't be doing, and they have acknowledged and they have signed off by signing your consent forms. Some booking apps will allow you to do a consent form at the time of registration or confirming their appointment, or just when the client comes in, whether it be a few minutes before their appointment or at the very start of their appointment. Slide them on over an iPad or a paper form if that's what you do, but I highly recommend you go digital so you don't have to keep up with the papers and they're easy to look up and keep on file for your clients. Hand them a form, a pen, say go ahead and read this real quick, acknowledge this, and then sign off. I want to get you on the table and get you going. So educating your clients on what to do before their appointments, which again, exfoliating in between, telling them refrain from sex, exercise, and saunas right afterwards. Now this is for Brazilian clients. Those are my do's and don'ts for my Brazilian clients. For example, if I'm going to be doing face waxing on a client, I'm going to tell them, try to avoid direct sun. So after you wax, don't go sit in the sun and go sunbathing or something like that. Because your skin is freshly waxed, and there's a good chance, typically after you wax a client, you're not slapping sunscreen on them. If they had sunscreen on before, you washed it off when you did your pre-cleanse. And when I say pre-cleanse, when you are waxing anybody, whatever part you're waxing, you should be using some sort of cleanser on the person. For example, this is what mine looks like. Whenever I'm waxing the face, the back, the legs, the arm, just about any area but Brazilian, because I have a different cleanser for my Brazilian wax clients, I put a little bit of this on a 4x4 and I cleanse the skin. This is going to get up any lotions on them, any residue, any dirt, any grease, anything like that. This is going to get it off so that my wax adheres directly to the hair, not adhering to the skin, and so that the wax doesn't just slide off. Because if they have a ton of lotion on, a ton of sunscreen, your wax isn't going to adhere to the hair. It's going to slide right off. That's a waste of your time and a waste of your product. So if you're using this, you slap on some wax, chances are you took sunscreen off of them. And you're not reapplying sunscreen because that's just not a part of typical wax protocols. So now the client is going to go out and sit in the sun with no protection. There's a good chance they could get some damage, some dark marks, dark spots, things like that. So we need to educate our clients. After a waxing session, don't go sunbathing. Go take your behind home, sit in the air conditioning. Be wise. Educating your clients is going to help them get the results they desire when they come in to see you as a licensed professional. Now remember, in order to provide waxing services, you should be a licensed professional. You dang sure need to be doing it in the state of Texas. Now, I am again located in Houston, Texas, so I can quote you the rules and the laws for Texas only. Please check with your state's licensing and regulation department to confirm what licenses you need to perform which services. In the state of Texas, you need an esthetician's license or a cosmetology license because certain levels of cosmetology does cover aesthetics. You need to have that sort of license in order to provide a waxing service. So, as a licensed professional, we are the expert. It is our job to educate our clients. So that's what I wanted to talk to you all about today, and I'm going to cover those 3 points again. One, educate your clients how often they should be coming to you for their waxing services. Whatever it is that you're specializing in, tell your clients how often they should come. But be open to adjust the schedule as the client needs. This is providing a great customer service experience, so your customers are more likely to rebook with you. The second thing, tell your clients why they should be coming to you on the timetable that you suggest. Explain to your clients what happens when they skip and or miss appointments. Also, discourage your clients from using a razor in between visits to you, because this is likely going to damage the hair follicle or the hair growth cycle, which could then impede upon your waxing schedule. The third thing, tell your clients what to do and what not to do before their appointment and after their appointment. By doing this, you are helping your clients get the results they truly desire for their waxing services. So those are my 3 tips I wanted to give you all for waxing client education today. We actually have a wax class coming up on November 12th. That's next Friday. I believe we have 4 spots left for that class. This is actually the last class I'm offering this year. I'm super excited about this class. I love doing wax class. Waxing are one of my favorite services to provide. So I want to teach you all the things that I have learned since I have been a licensed esthetician. And I want to show you how profitable it can be in your business, as waxing makes up probably about 60% of my business. The other 40% are my other services, such as facials, which I love to do. I actually did consider quite some time just going strictly waxing, but I love doing relaxing facials too. So you just figure out how waxing can work into your business, and if it can, I highly encourage you to do it. So in order to up-level your skill set, I offer in-person wax training classes, and our next class, again, is next Friday, November the 12th. You can click the link in my bio and you can register for that class. I want to tell you really quickly what's included in the class and answer any questions if there are any more that pop up. So automatically you're going to get a starter wax kit. The starter wax kit is valued at $127. It's going to come with wax. You're actually going to get a wax warmer. You're going to get wax sticks. You're going to get the strips to pull them up. You're going to get all the supplies you need to be able to walk away from the training class and take clients right away. Now, again, you must be licensed in order to actually do this as a paid service in the state of Texas. But I offer this to people who are licensed and to people who are not licensed, because I do get a lot of aspiring estheticians or people who are in aesthetic school or cosmetology school working on their license, but it's maybe not something that was covered real heavily in esthetician school, which I'll say that. But though I went to aesthetic school specifically for my license in aesthetics, I didn't go in as a cosmetologist because I had no desire to style hair. I had no desire to cut hair, to do anything with hair. I wanted to know skin and skin only. There's a lot to cover in aesthetics, and sometimes they do maybe a month on a topic, maybe they do a few weeks on a topic. And when I did it, I want to say we did a couple classes on waxing. Yes, there were some chapters in our books that we could read, but actual classes where they said, this is how you lay the wax down, this is how you pull the wax up, we probably did a handful of classes tops. So I needed to up-level my own skill set, and at the time I could not find an affordable class for me to be able to take. So I started training people, and I tried to make my prices affordable. The class is a 4-hour class. You're going to come in, you need to bring your own model, because we are going to actually wax someone. I want to show you specifically how you lay the wax on a person's body depending on where the body is being waxed. For example, how we lay wax under the underarm is going to be different than how we're going to lay wax if we were waxing the legs. And that is, example, the hair in the underarm area grows in many different directions. Sometimes it grows down, it grows up, and it grows sideways. So we might actually need to apply 3 different strips in 3 different ways. Those are the kind of things I teach in my wax training class. So you're going to get the starter wax kit. So when you walk out of the class, you're actually going to be able to go and take clients. Your starter wax kit, you're not using in my class. In my class, you're using my supplies. My wax pot, my wax sticks. But we're going to use your model, so I'm going to show you how to do it. But when you walk away, say you already have your license and you just needed to up-level your skill set, the day you leave my class, you should be able to go home and start taking people. That's right. You should be able to go home and start taking people right away. You will get a certificate of completion at the end of the class saying that you trained with me for 4 hours. You didn't know your stuff at that point. We're doing the live demo training when you bring your models. Now, say you don't bring a model, I'll let you wax yourself, or if other people in the class are open to it, you can wax someone in the class who's also taking it. And I even allow people to wax on me. Initially when I started, that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, you're gonna lay the wax on me, and I'm helping you because I'm looking at how you're doing it. I'm gonna correct you before you make a mistake, and that way we do it on ourselves first before we actually touch another person, because I want you to see how it lays, I want you to feel it, and I want you to see before you make a mistake. I want you to see it on yourself, because we don't want you to hurt someone else. So those are the things that we go over in the class. I mean, the class is super detailed. It's a 4-hour class, but you also have access to my online training, which gives you sanitation and cleaning a workbook. There's lists on how you should set up your workstation. I actually give you protocols for waxing different areas of the body, which we go over in depth in class, but there's lots of material that you can always refer back to online. And when you register for the course, you actually have 1 year access to the online portion of the course. So this is all included. And guess how much it is? Take a guess. I bet y'all can't guess. You get all this wonderful information and of my personal time, and it's only $350. Only $350, and I only have 4 spots left for next Friday, November the 12th. So click the link in the bio and you guys can get registered. Once you get registered, I'll give you the address of the location, and actually I think I'm going to pop on sometime this week and I'll show y'all what the starter wax kits look like so you can start getting excited about it. But that's not all. I want you guys to join me on Thursday. This Thursday, today is what, the 2nd? So the 4th, this Thursday the 4th, and I think we're going to do it in the morning. I don't know the time definitively, but I'll make a post or I'll schedule it so you guys can get notified from Instagram when I do go live. But the next live I'm doing, I'm going to be talking about wax contraindications. And if you don't know what that is, you definitely want to be on my live. The information that I've shared with you today are things that I share in the class, but I go much more in depth. I share all the juicy tidbits. I don't hold anything back. I am one of those types of people. If I know the information, I'm going to share it. I'm not going to just tell you A and not tell you B, C, and D if I know it. And if you ever ask me a question of something I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know, but then I'm going to go and find the answer. But I've been doing this for quite some time now. I'm 5-star rated, so I wanted to be able to show other estheticians and aspiring estheticians why I love this so much and how you can make it profitable for your business. So turn on your post notifications, your live notifications, so you get notified when we go live on Thursday talking about waxing contraindications. Y'all have an amazing day. If you guys post more questions, go ahead and do it in the comments or comment replay, and I will come in and definitely answer them for y'all. Have an amazing day. Bye.